Did you like the video? Did you say hello to your neighbor? Okay. Did you like the video? And did you say hello to your neighbor? 1 second. Y'all let me know before we get started. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Because I'm about to come off camera. And then y'all know my next question is going to be, can y'all see me? Okay. That's going to be the next question. But we're going to sit here for a minute. I'm exhausted. I'm going to come off camera, but your girl's tired. I'm tired. Okay? This is like the first real Monday where I actually had to be a responsible adult. But I also wanted to sit on this page for a second because don't y'all love the thumbnail? Hey, Bonnie. Don't y'all love the thumbnail? I really didn't change it much from the last reunion, just because I feel like we got the same thing this reunion. We got Tisha with her clown mask on, and we got Tisha sitting on the stage saying, "I cannot see. I'm legally blind. P.O.P. Hold it down." That's what Letitia was doing this reunion. And, you know, I was able to dig up the alleged photos of the booty on Marceau's phone. I'm playing. I'm just playing, y'all. But that's what y'all got with the thumbnail. I went into Canva. I did my little thing with the booty on the phone and the text message. A midday work surprise. Okay. All right. Oh gosh, I'm still laughing because I'm thinking about this show, y'all. Like, what even happened? I feel like I watched the show when it came out on Saturday night because I was super excited. I've been on pins and needles ready to watch the show on Saturday nights because I've been trying to, besides going to brunch and to lunch and happy hour, you know, I'll be trying to be home on Saturday night sometime or Friday nights, at least one night, just chill on the couch and watch some mess. And that's what I did. So I watched the show on Saturday. I wanted to come to y'all yesterday, but I had too much to do. So we're going to get into this. I also watched Ready to Love, and I also watched Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't know. I'm trying to make up my mind, y'all. I'm exhausted. Am I going to give you guys Real Housewives of Potomac today? I don't know. We're going to see. As far as Ready to Love, y'all, we're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Don't worry. I'm just trying to give y'all time to come in because we friends, right? We having conversations, casual conversations, okay? We don't hop on my channel and go straight into the review. Like, when I see my friends, we don't jump into business. We have to talk, okay? So real quick. For Ready to Love, I thought it was okay. I'm not going to review the show. I'm just giving y'all my high-level thoughts because we're going to review the show on Thursday when Ladies First panel returns. So just high level, since I know some of y'all be waiting to see what we think before y'all watch the show, Ready to Love is okay. I think it might be good this season. I think they have the usual characters. I think they have the annoying girls on there. I think they have the pick-me's that they cast in every single 37, 40 plus year old group. I think that they have the clowns, the assholes. I think that that's who Blake is supposed to be this season for us. So not a whole lot happened. Again, I'm going to review the show with the girls, and then on a weekly basis, we'll see about it. But as far as Love and Marriage Huntsville, do me a favor. It is now 91 people in the room. I think we comfortable. I think we got the group gathered. I think we got enough people at the hostess booth and we're ready to be sat. So do me a favor and like the video, and then we can hop directly into the review. All right, cool. Let's get into it. So we just watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, part 2 of the reunion. I believe it's a 4-part reunion. And the first thing I want to say is ha, ha, ha. Okay? Ha, ha. Funny, ha, ha. And I'm doing it like that, and I'm being obnoxious like that because I came on here last week and I told y'all when Carlos said that's why only the 6 of y'all were out here or are out here, he was being shady. I knew that Carlos was either throwing shade to Destiny or throwing shade to the Whitlows. And somebody who obviously, I don't know who the people was, somebody came on here and said, it's not that deep. You're overthinking it. You're reaching. It's not that deep. But you know what? It was that deep because Carlos played his part in this reunion. Carlos showed up as a full cast member, and he had a little bit of shade for Destiny, in my opinion, a whole lot of obvious shade, in my opinion. And we'll talk about that. But I'm like, yeah, I said that last week, okay? I do this. Okay, so y'all, the reunion starts out, and we see Tisha and Kiki. They start off where they left, where Kiki is claiming that Tisha has had to deal with the thought of infidelity in her marriage or rumors in her marriage, right? And people trying to figure out like, okay, so Kiki, what exactly is you saying? And finally, I think that Tisha was getting, this is the difference between Tisha and Marcel. Again, does anybody else think that it's weird how Marcel sat there the whole time and allowed Tisha to run that conversation? I think that both Tisha and Marcel was sweating their motherfucking boots because they were nervous that if they said the wrong thing, they didn't know if the tea was going to come from Martell, if the tea was going to come from Kiki, if the tea was going to come from Mel, if the tea was going to come from Dan Maurice. They didn't know. I think they were shaking in their boots. So Tisha was getting tired of the back and forth. And finally, she just said, well, there was an instance where Marceau received an ass shot, a picture of a booty that was texted to his phone. And Carlos was like, how did it get in your phone? And I told y'all last week that I thought that it was going to be like a DM situation. I thought that they were going to come on and say, oh, well, it was via DMs. But no, I guess they weren't going to lie like that because so many people on that stage have things on them. So they couldn't have told that lie. So I guess that's why they didn't say the DMs. However, they did try to minimize the situation by saying that Marceau receives, offerings in his DMs all the time. So of course they brought up the DMs, but that's not what they said. They actually told some form of the truth when it came to this booty picture. So Carlos asked how the booty picture got in his phone, and Marcel says, I was interviewing a girl and she texted to me out of the blue, and Kiki says, oh, out of the blue. And of course, Carlos asking all the questions that needs to be asked. He says, well, did you respond? And he says, no, I didn't. And before Tisha even thinks, she's already in sync with her husband, shaking her head. No, he didn't respond. And Kiki says, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You responded and you said, a midday work surprise. Tisha says, oh, you did say that. Mm-hmm. You did say that. And Marcel was like, well, it was a midday work surprise. And I liked the picture. Did you like the picture or did you heart the picture? Because Tisha said you love the image and, you say you liked it. Either way it goes, to me, you did not tell this woman that what she did was inappropriate. I think that you probably had been in a routine of deleting messages between you and this lady who you supposedly interviewed. And Tisha just came across a message that wasn't deleted. Tisha's response, it was like, you know what? I don't consider that proof because I did my research. We both researched, meaning her and Kiki researched to find out if there was anything deeper to this relationship that he had with the girl. Now, if y'all watch my reviews throughout the season, when they was at the damn family reunion or whatever party they was throwing, Tisha and all her cousins and everybody on the other side of the tracks was at the party. Tisha Tisha was saying that she wasn't worried because she does her research. And I just want y'all to think for a second. Let's think. Tragic. Moment of silence. For me, it's like, how can you say to us that there's no doubt that your husband is cheating? And instead of saying, I know my husband's not cheating because he told me and I believe him, you'd still be foolish for that. But instead of saying that, your response is, I did my research. That just, to me, makes me believe that Tisha is aware of the manipulation that goes on in her marriage, and that she's aware that Marceau can pull a quick one on her, and he may have done it, but she feels like as long as she hasn't caught him, then it's not a thing. She don't want to know. She don't want to know, okay? She'd rather just look the other way. And again, she brings up the Holtz. She responds and she says, what they bring up are things that they went through. And I am so glad that Carlos is playing his role in this reunion, okay? Like, honestly, some people might feel some type of way about him playing host and cast member, but I was here for it because a lot of the responses that we expect out of like an Andy or even whatever that dude name is who hosts Married at First Sight, Kevin, whatever his last name is, a lot of the responses that we scream about and holler about, or let's just say challenges, we want the hosts to challenge the people on the show. And a lot of times they don't do it. So I think Carlos did a really good job of challenging her and holding her to task. He held her to task. And y'all know what it is. Let me do this. I can't talk about Tisha without doing this. A lot of the things that they brought up to us are things that they went through with multiple women. Multiple women, okay? And Carlos says, I don't care if he slept with one girl or 1,000 girls. And she said he hasn't slept with anyone. And you could tell when Carlos said to her, if he slept with one girl or 1,000, it was getting too close to breaking her her mental protection. You could tell that when he said that, it was like, don't say it, don't say it. He said to her, I don't care if it was one girl or 1,000. And Tisha says, he didn't fuck anybody. If he did, I would have left. I'm not that girl, Kiki. You know how I get down. And Kiki is agreeing with her cousin, like, yeah, I know you're not that girl. Kiki, this is how I feel about Kiki. Come with her to get gone. Come with it or get gone. You are playing frenemy like to the T. Like, it's just too much. Either you're going to come on and expose your cousin. I would, let's be real, okay? I watch the show for entertainment. Kiki, if you came on to expose your cousin, I would come on to my YouTube channel and I would talk about how trifling you were. But I would also just be, oh my gosh, she just spilled the tea. I would be shook. I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It would be good TV. So the thing is this, Kiki. Decide what villain you want to be. Do you want to expose your cousin while co-signing her bullshit? Yeah, I know you're not that girl, even though she really is that girl. Decide what you're going to do. Or are you just going to sit in your role? One of the things I always respect the most are people who show you all their cards. You know how they get down. You know how they are. And honestly, that's the reason why well, that's not even the reason, but that's the reason why I respect Mel so much. Because everyone claims they have issues with Mel. They claim that she cuts off people easily. She uses people. But the thing is, with Mel, you know how she gets down. Be friends with Mel. Do some fake shit or do some shit where, you know, it makes her feel uncomfortable. Talk about Martell. Try to pressure her to be friends with somebody. Your ass gets cut off. She shows us all of her cards. We know where her cards are. So I can't be mad at her for any reason. As far as Kiki, you playing different cards out of different decks. You playing Uno, you playing poker, you playing goldfish. It's too much. It's too much. Decide what you want to do. So yeah, she brings up the Holtz, and Carlos holds her accountable and is like, okay, well, I don't care what they do. We're talking about you. And then Tisha says, well, that was a long time ago. That was like 14 years ago. And Kiki says, that was not 14 years ago. And Letitia says, okay, well, maybe 12. Honestly, y'all, at this point, if I gotta be all the way real and just really think about the inconsistency that we're getting from Kiki when it comes to the truth and, you know, halfway saying things but not really saying things, I don't think that this was 14 years ago. However, I do think it was a long ass time ago. It probably was like 10 years ago. It probably was 10 years ago, because honestly, y'all, in my mind, I still be thinking 2013 was 5 years ago. So it probably was 10 years ago. Either way it goes, it's like, Kiki, I wish you had fresher tea than this. But just so you know, you will never get anything from Tisha again. And, you know, if you thought you were going to be our source, it's over. I want news newer than 10 years at least. That's just my guesstimation. Y'all in the comments, let me know how long ago. Actually, let's think about it. When did they add the heart a message function on iPhone? That wasn't 10 years ago. That was not 10 years ago. When was that reaction button added? When was the reaction response added to iMessage? That was not 10 years ago. When did Apple introduce iMessage reactions? It says 2011. It says reactions. That can't be right. That was not 2011. Let me see. Did I type in the wrong thing? When did I? I'm trying to type in, y'all. Introduce response. I don't even know what it was called. I mean, honestly, y'all know. I'm just trying to look for something. When did I can't find it. It's saying 2011, but that's not right. 2011 was definitely not. That was not it for sure. I don't know what year it was. Somebody saying 2016. Somebody saying 2018. It might. I don't even think it was 2016. I think it was after 2016. It probably was 2018. Somebody said MB said 2020. Definitely not 2011. It wasn't 14 years ago, 2015. Somebody saying fall 2016. You know what? If we put on our investigative hats and we really think about the fact that the message came through iPhone, for one. For two, she said he hearted the message and he said he thumbs up the message. That lets us know that that wasn't 10 years ago. That was probably right around the time they came on the show. Somebody said 2016, 2017. So let's just find a middle spot and let's just guess. Yeah, I was Googling, but I couldn't find the right response. Anyway, let's really just, think about this. And Marcel said 2009. What? The majority of people didn't even have iPhones in 2009. Quit playing, Marcel. Anyway, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. I said it was probably 10 years ago just because Kiki was losing credibility. But whenever we really think about the iMessage reactions, that wasn't that long ago. So this had to be right before they came on the show. So whatever, they gonna lie. I guess Kiki, I guess you was probably right. That was 19 years ago. It's probably 5, maybe. And yeah, shout out to Martell. He said, did she get the job? Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie, my girl. She says article on Google says fall 2016. Yep, tap back. Thank you, the real N-Dot. She says, my Google says tap back started with iOS 10 in 2016. So yeah, that was not that long ago, y'all. Well, that was debunked. Okay, so next we get into this Christmas party, and Carlos wants to know who started the conversation talking about Letitia, and obviously it was Kiki. Kimmy was sitting there with her face turned like, girl, it was definitely you talking about Letitia, and Kiki's like, nah, it wasn't me. Bonnie said this situation seems like it was maybe from 2021. Ooh. Okay. Orange Moon says the receipts, the side piece release said it happened in 2021. But the thing is, y'all, how do we know that that is the same side piece? I feel like we know it happened after 2016, but if it happened in 2021, why didn't Kiki just say it happened last year? Because they filmed earlier in the year in 2022. So I feel like it's probably a possibility that the girl who released receipts saying it happened in 2021 is probably a different girl. That's just my thoughts. My thoughts is that the girl who released receipts is probably a different girl. Yes, and it's a pattern of him getting booty shot pictures from a lot of different girls. Yes, onto the 20 girlfriends. Maybe it's not 20, but maybe it's like 3 or 4 or 5. Because one of the things like with Marcel, I wouldn't assume that he would cheat on his wife with an entire girlfriend like Martell did. I could definitely see Marceau just getting things that he wanted from women at the time and letting them go. I could see that. Not saying I know nothing, but yeah, it definitely could be another one of the side chicks. So anyway, yeah. Kimmy is turning her face up because she feels like Kiki is lying about the amount of stuff that she participated in and talked about at the Christmas party. So Kiki says, please roll the footage. They roll the footage. And when they do, boom, there your ass go. Talking about Kiki. Talking about Letitia. You're outside in a circle full of women. So the scene that we actually saw during the show or the episode was all of them in the kitchen. But the never before seen footage was her standing outside talking about Letitia. And what I think is so hilarious is that she basically said the same thing that we saw in the episode. But what this shows us is that you was gonna get that scene in. You was gonna get a scene, whether it had been in the kitchen, whether you had been outside. You came there on task. You knew what you were hired to do, and you came there to talk about Letitia. I'm not pressed on it though, honestly. I don't think that Mel bringing Kiki on the show, I'm not gonna say I don't think, but what I will say is I won't let that distract me from the things that Kiki is saying that's true. I think that Letitia and Marceau would like for everyone to be riled up in, oh, Mel, why would you do that? That is so, evil for you to bring someone on the show. All the TV shows do it, y'all. All the TV shows do it. The same way that Letitia conveniently keeps bringing up that Mel was sleeping around. That low-key pisses me off because it's almost as if you're trying to insinuate that she was a hoe because her and her husband were separated because her husband was cheating on her. So it had a baby on her. Like, Letitia, I don't know why you keep doing that. So the way that Letitia and her mom and her husband keep plotting little things into the scene. Oh, well, Mel was sleeping around. Oh, well, she only said that because Mel was messing with another man. You're doing that intentionally. You're doing that intentionally because you want to bring that storyline into the show. The same way that Marceau is sitting down and apologizing for his brother in regards to Miss Van, you're producing. You want to bring certain storylines into the show, regardless of how Kiki was presented to us, regardless of if Carlos asked her to be on the show, Mel asked her to be on the show. That's not going to deter the fact that I know the things that they're saying are probably true. Okay, I'm going to consider that the things they're saying are probably true. Shout out to my fellow Scorpio sis Delia. Thank you for becoming a member. But the things that they're saying are true. So y'all just pay attention, okay? We're going to look at these shows. We're going to get a Kiki. But whenever you listen to them talk and you take notes and you see the dialogue, you see patterns, and the words that they're saying don't add up. 2 + 2 is equaling 6 for them. And it's like, hold on, what? So let's hold on. So anyway, they start talking about Kiki and this drug addiction. So yes, I had to pause for a second because I was like, can I say that? But she said it was a drug addiction, so I ain't gotta say no allegedly or nothing like that. Anyway, they start talking about how the Holtz found out about the drug addiction. Mel says that when Marceau brought it up, he brought it up in a joking manner and she found it to be insensitive. Marceau was like, no, it was serious. It was very serious for me. I never brought it up in a joke. And if it was a joke, why didn't you laugh? Because who doesn't laugh when I crack a joke? And then of course, Maurice has to jump in. He's went to go take care of Kiki multiple times. He's driven in the night to make sure that Kiki was okay. So I couldn't imagine that he would be joking. And I'm just so annoyed with, this is what needs to go down. Y'all might not like me for this, but y'all might like me for this. We only need one pair of Scots on this show. Just one. We only need one pair of Scots on this show. Just because by having those many Scots, plus Wandas, plus the Bernards, the other side of the tracks, by having all those people in cahoots, we get shit like what we're getting at this reunion. We get people who are willing to work together and gaslight Mel and Martell's concern for adults talking about their children. Kimmy is included. I'm dead serious. Even though Kimmy decided to speak up this time, she sat there in silence and allowed them to gaslight when talking about this child. We're going to talk about that. But she allowed them to gaslight, and she only decided to speak up when Carlos reprimanded the group and said, you all. That's when she finally was like, but I have a different opinion. The reason why I'm including Kimmy in this is because if you go back to the episode and you think about when she was in the car with Maurice and they were going to the dinner with the comeback group, the 6 people, this is after the fight. When they were on the way to the dinner, Kimmy said to Maurice, and this is in regards to Mel going on Carlos' show talking about, ask Tisha, it's her daddy. Kimmy said to Maurice, you can't throw fun shade and then be upset when someone comes back at you. She said something along the lines, like not exact quotes, but basically Kimmy was saying, like, if you throw fun shade, somebody's going to throw something back, and it just is what it is. So that lets me know that Kimmy is going to ride with her family. She may not agree with them 100%, but what she's going to do is be complicit in what they're doing. She's going to allow them to gaslight. Why? Because it protects her husband, and it protects Marceau. Because the same way that she said that Martell is, he brings chaos in his environment, your husband and your brother-in-law are allegedly a part of that environment. And allegedly, the environment was the damn credit one in that office. So all of them. We only need one pair of Scots, honestly, because I'm tired of the gaslighting. Lee, thank you for the super chat. Did you notice Kiki's clip started in the middle of her talking? They didn't start her clip at the beginning of her talking, and she didn't say anything bad. I did notice when they were outside, her clip started in the middle. I don't think it was really, I don't think that the clip was shown to us for us to see that she said anything bad. I think it was shown to us just to see how desperate Kiki was to get the story across about her cousin. And I think it was an attempt to make her look bad, but still, like, I don't think that invalidates some of the things that she's saying. Mind you, I said some. So next, y'all, Kiki and Tisha say that they're working on trust in their relationship. Kiki, I think that you're the one working on trust, because what you want in a perfect world is to get your cake and eat it too. You want to come on the show, you want to get your 15 minutes of fame via mail while trashing your cousin, but you still want to be cool and Kiki with your cousin at the family reunions. Kiki. So when Kiki says that they're working on trust, I really think that's just one-sided. That's just you still wanting some sort of access to your cousin, even though you know, you crossed her. Because at the end of the day, like, you could be very disposable to Mel. You very well could be. So I think that you still want some sort of access to Letitia, which is why you claim that y'all are working on trust. What trust is had? They didn't even know you were coming on the reunion. Kiki is still doing interviews to this day. I just heard an interview of hers probably 2 weeks ago where she was talking about she was a surprise guest and she was juiced. She was geeked up talking about potentially filming for the new season. So, girl, goodbye. Next, y'all, Mel and Wanda. Wanda gives Mel this fake ass apology, and Mel does not accept it. And I'm not mad at it at all. Just because Mel is absolutely right. Wanda only apologized because Carlos is upset with her. Wanda never thought she did anything wrong. Wanda still doesn't think she did anything wrong till this day. Letitia don't think she did anything wrong. Marcel don't think she did anything wrong. So you can keep your apology. And I agree with you 100,000 on that, because I don't want you to think that by apologizing, you still have access to, you know, wreak havoc on the scene every time a camera pop up, or just no. Not at all. So whenever Mel ends up saying that they can never move on and the group can never move on, I'm not mad. And I knew that that was going to be the case. I'm laughing my ass off because probably back in mid-October, Mel was live on Instagram. And I got to jump on her live and I asked her, Mel, how are you going to move on with the group? Because, you know, and y'all be mad when I say this, but I don't care. The Scorpio and me cannot just move on with people like that. If we bad, we gonna be bad forever. We gonna be bad forever. That don't mean that I'm gonna, you know, put all my energy into it. That just means, you know, I don't know her. I don't know you. And on live, Mel was like, you know, I'm not sure. You're just gonna have to watch and see. So when she said at the reunion that they can never move forward, I was like, I knew it. Now, let's get into the conversation about the child. So Wanda says that she was simply, y'all, why am I acting like I don't know who we're talking about? Pump It Up and Bingo Chips said that she was simply just repeating the conversation that was had on Dr. Heavenly's live. She said that Martell and Dr. Heavenly was the one who, you know, brought in question the rumor about Sugar Mama, you know, not being Martell's daughter, allegedly. So what's also annoying is that all of the Skies in, you know, incongruence, they hopped on there and they all start clinging on to this live that was had. Like, nah, they just brought it up. Or we only bring stuff up because Mel and Martell bring it up. And the thing is this, Martell and Mel, y'all would be, I don't even know why I'm saying this, because I know it's just not possible. Because I know that Martell is a damn fool. And I'm not going to say anything about them being together. I'm not. What I'm saying is they would be so much stronger as a team whenever you're going up against all of these Skies than separate. But because Martell cannot see the light, and, you know, I guess they're going to talk about that next episode, Martell takes anything anybody says bad and he's automatically triggered. And then it ends up being a shit show of Martell talking shit about Mel and, you know, maybe Mel saying something to Martell on the show. So whenever those things happen, it's like the Scots can try to use it against you, even if it's not relevant. That's exactly what they tried to do in this situation. Like, don't try to act like Martell and Mel were the ones who put it out there that their youngest child might have a different father. Like, are you crazy? And this is the type of gaslighting that I'm talking about. Like, you sat here on this stage and gave umpteen different excuses as to why you're co-signing the bullshit that Pump It Up and Bingo Chips is on. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And I'm glad that Carlos was holding him accountable. So Tisha says, well, you know, I think both Mel and my mom were wrong. I think both Mel and Wanda were wrong, but she was just responding. My mom was just responding. And I'm glad that y'all are talking about the chopper comment in the chat, because that's the other thing that they tried to gaslight the situation about. Wanda was like, Bernard just said I got them choppers. Bernard wasn't saying he was going to use them. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Honestly, quit playing with me. If you're on the live talking about somebody and then saying I got them choppers, or I say stay strapped or something like that, especially in regards to speaking about a female, Bernard, you know, we know you're missing a few marbles, okay? We know you probably didn't. We know your multiple choice test was probably only 2 choices. But you know the difference between a threat and just randomly saying stuff. And all of y'all are sitting there gaslighting. I'm just like, what's going on? So anyways, Tisha says both Mel and Wanda are wrong. And finally, Carlos speaks up and he says, well, I'm not seeing the same energy that y'all have for Monster like y'all do for Sugar Mama, right? And I'm glad he said it, because when it came to Monster, they were too turned up. I was turned up because I had never seen nobody come on the show and just expose something that was going on with a child in middle school. Not only that, Kimmy was upset because Maurice didn't tell her. So now, last season, y'all had all these protocols for how children should be brought on the show, how children should be talked about on the show, even down to them showing the clip. Now, I don't know why they did this. Let me not get too far ahead because I want to talk about that. But y'all not keeping the same energy, and I'm glad that Carlos said that. Then they end up showing the scene, or from like a previous season, where Martell goes up to Marceau Jr. He goes up to Marceau Jr. and he says to Marceau Jr., I want to apologize to you for saying that your dad had 20 girlfriends. I didn't mean it. I was just saying to get it under his skin. Martell, you nice for telling the little boy that lie. Your nose should have grew about 3 inches because you was lying. But whatever. So they showed the scene. And then they talked about the fact that Marceau had a problem with Carlos filming that without his knowledge. And he didn't want his son to be involved in any scenes like that, which makes perfect sense. I agree. I don't think that Carlos should film any kids without them knowing. Carlos apologized. And I don't know if it's the fact that that they didn't know he was filming, or just the manner of the conversation that Marceau didn't want his child to be involved though. So anyway, when he did that, Martell ends up, the reason why I wanted to bring that up though is, what was the point in them showing that? What was the point in them showing that? I feel like Monster was the perfect example of people discussing kids on this show in order to get back at an adult. Monster was the perfect example. I don't think that Martell did anything or said anything that was inappropriate to the child. I think the scene of him apologizing was just a nice little scene to show. But I think for some reason, the Scots felt like their child too had been caught in the midst of something similar to Sugar Mama and Monster. And I just don't want them to think that the shit that Wanda is doing is the same Martell did by filming and apologizing with the son. I may be overthinking this, but I don't think that they should have shown that video clip. I don't think it had nothing to do with nothing. I think Monster was the closest relation and the closest example to people talking about kids, but the Scott just still didn't get it for some reason. So Martell, after Carlos going up for the holds, Martell says, well, Carlos, I wish you would have said something sooner. Carlos turned into, well, you've texted me or you emailed me about plenty of when it comes to this show. Can y'all still hear me? I'm seeing a couple of y'all say that it's frozen. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. And shout out to y'all in the chat who let me know whenever the stuff started tripping, because I hate to, you know, put out the video and then like the whole minute of the thing don't be working. I hate it. So let me know in the chat. Are we good to go? Can I turn my camera back on? I'm gonna look for my thumbs up. And matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask y'all to like the video before we finish out this review. So go ahead, do me a favor and like the video. Okay, are we back? We back. Okay, cool. Y'all can hear me. So anyway, after Carlos going up for the holds in regards to Sugar Mama, Martell then says, well, I wish you would have said something sooner. And I was thinking like, Martell, not you coming after your biggest advocate. The only person on the stage, and I apologize if y'all hear my dog snoring, it just is what it is. Not you, you know, trying to come after your biggest advocate on the stage. So Carlos then says, well, you didn't came to me for many other things. You've come to me for many other things on the show. And that was shade. That was shade. That was very much like, oh, it's plenty of stuff that I didn't bring to the show that I could have because you regulated it. So I was like, Martell, that was dumb. So Carlos simply just says, you didn't come to me. Now, when it comes back to Marcel, they want to know, Mel, can you ever move forward with the group? And she says, never. We already talked about that. I see you. We see each other. It will be never for me. And then Marceau says that Mel doesn't ever take accountability. And they still want to know why she went live when she approached Wanda. Now, I will say this, y'all. When Mel approached Wanda, it was definitely not on no, excuse me, Miss Other Side of the Tracks. I just wanted to have a conversation with you about why you're questioning the paternity of my youngest child. It really hurt my feelings. It wasn't given that. It wasn't given that. It was given, I heard you had a bunch of motherfuckers to say on the internet, so now I'm in your face, and that's okay, Mel. That's okay, Mel. That's okay. And again, by Marceau asking you why you went live, by Tisha asking you why you went live, by Wanda asking you why you went live, I don't think that it invalidates what you did. What you did was the right thing to do. What you did was the right thing to do. Wanda did it. Wanda was ready to throw hands. Wanda was running through the parking lot ready to swing from the left, from the back. Okay? So I think that they're upset that Mel tries to keep this peace in her life, and Mel just comes off very quiet, I ain't gonna be involved. But that's okay, Mel. You came ready. Yes, you came ready to knock if you buck. And that's fine. Because I would have rolled with you on that one if you had said it at the reunion. If you was like, I went live to expose, pump it up, and bingo chips. Do some things for some change. Other Side of the Tracks. If you came on the show and said that that's the reason why you went live, I would have rolled with you. I would have been good. It's all good. So next, Maurice closes out with this MLK speech. I don't even remember what he said, y'all. I don't remember. Oh, okay. Now, because y'all have to realize what he said felt so irrelevant to me that I didn't take notes. But now remember. He said something about that, you know, because of what Kimmy had went through that year, that the group should, you know, look at life a little bit more precious, and that he was hoping that, you know, the group would be more respectful and cherish moments with their families and everything like that, right? But the thing is this, wrong road. Wrong road. Maurice, you sat there and you co-signed the bullshit that your brother was on. You sat there, you tried to comfort Mel on stage. And the thing, when it comes to the way I feel like Maurice and Kimmy are complicit in the bullshit that Tisha and Marceau does. And for that reason, I think we only need one set of Scots on the show. So, Maurice, for you to participate in the bullshit, the whole season and the reunion, and participate in the gaslighting, and then turn around and say, oh, we should all cherish life. It's like you're discounting all the bullshit that your sister-in-law is on, that your brother is on, that y'all co-signed for. And I just think, you know, maybe that situation impacted your life and your personal friend group. But as far as what y'all come on the show to do, y'all are still doing the bullshit. So it's just like, are you serious? I can't. So lastly, they bring Destiny and Stormy on stage. And I just have to say this. When it comes to Stormy, I feel like she's starting to show herself. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel. I may be calling it too early. I thought Stormy was cool. I did not skip the accountability conversation, but okay. Anyway, I thought Stormy was cool initially. I mean, I think she still is cool. Let me say that. I think that Stormy's cool, but it's something about her that's making me question her. And when I can't place you in my mind, I'd rather just throw you away. And when we think about the stuff that happened at Madani Grand reopening, and she brought the Gucci bag and was like, I bought you a Gucci, so we Gucci. I was like, okay, that's nice. But I was so annoyed with Destiny at the time that I was like, girl, you should take that Gucci and be glad. But just the way that she keeps saying Gucci, the way that she went and told the Scots, I bought her a Gucci, so we Gucci, it was given very much like, here's a cookie. I think you wanted a cookie, Stormy. Because the behavior in which Destiny showed out, to me, she would never get the satisfaction of me sitting down with her and apologizing 15 million times and wanting to be her friend. But the way that you were able to just tread through the mud in order to be Destiny's friend is giving very much that you want to be well liked by the entire group. And you do. And the way that her and Destiny showed up at this reunion was annoying as fuck. It was given very much like what the girls at Real Housewives of Atlanta was giving. We saw the beef happen on the show. After the show, y'all and Kiki, y'all been in y'all group chats. Y'all know what y'all are going to say to the public. Y'all unite in front. Y'all come on the show and suddenly there's no beef. Suddenly everything that we saw wasn't that deep. And that's very much what it was given. So Carlos ends up asking Stormy how she feels about Destiny today. And she said, I like Destiny a lot. It was a lot for me. It was a lot for me. And he's like, okay, well, do you think Destiny's aggressive? Well, if she's aggressive, I'm aggressive. That I have to agree with. I agree with that statement. I think that was the right answer, Stormy. If she's aggressive, you are aggressive because y'all both was about to fight. So I think you answered it appropriately. But when it comes to, I like Stormy a lot. I was like, I like Destiny a lot. I was just like, girl, what? Like everything. Yes, this is it, Keisha. They were both in sync. Same language, same cadence. Everything was the same. They said something about it was just I can't remember exactly what word they used, but it was like, oh, something about intention, or it was a misunderstanding or something. I don't remember what it was, but they used the same words, and it's very much giving y'all talked plenty of times. Now, the next thing that Carlos ends up talking about is Destiny. And Carlos was not holding back for Destiny. Carlos lightweight lit her up and was like, so the viewers are saying, but this is how the viewers are saying, you ain't got no man, you difficult to work with, and you come on the show just to stir up beef, and you ain't got no storyline, but you don't want to give nothing. That's basically what Carlos said. And he says to Destiny, the funniest thing to me, I had to write this down. Thank y'all for the words. It was isolated incident. That's exactly what Stormy and Destiny said. It was an isolated incident. Anyway, the thing that I had to write down from Carlos is he said, and next to you on the stage is a pillow and not a man. I said, oh. Next to you on stage is a pillow and not a man. It was very much giving, where's Jamal? Where's Jamal? What man? So Destiny, I don't remember what she said. It was very much given like, yes, I'm in love, but we really didn't get too much into Destiny at the end of this episode. So what I'm hoping, yeah, that's what he said. He said, you ain't in love and you ain't married. She said, I very much am in love. So I don't want this reunion to go backwards, if y'all catch what I'm saying. Part 1 of the reunion, top tier. Part 2, it was okay. It was still good. It wasn't bad at all. I have to give part 1 of the reunion about a 7.5, 8. Part 2 of the reunion, I have to give like a 6. If we're talking about Destiny in part 3 of the reunion or the Whitlows, end the shit. We don't need a part 4 reunion. We don't need a part 4 reunion. But I actually am wondering if she's gonna come back next season, because the way that he was like, that's why only the 6 of y'all are out here. That's why it's a pillow next to you. You ain't in love. You ain't married. You difficult to work with. Kimmy and Tisha, didn't they say she was difficult to work with? The producers have lobbed you stories and you don't want to talk about it. Carlos was reprimanding her, and he was pulling the check out of her fucking Gucci bag. He was pulling it out the Gucci bag, and she sat there like, the little squat where you make yourself small because you're uncomfortable. That's what she did. So all in all, y'all, let me know how y'all rated this reunion on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know where y'all are at. I liked it. Yes, that is where it ended. Kimmy was fed up with Destiny. Kimmy jumped in and was like, yeah, but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why she don't need to be on the show. Is basically what Kimmy said. But all in all, let me know what y'all think about the reunion. I don't really think we're going to get the Whitlows. I hope we don't get the Whitlows at the reunion. I think that the Whitlows are just going to disappear and we're probably not even going to hear from them again. What do y'all think? I think the reunion will actually be a lot better if we don't even touch on the Whitlows at this point. Let's just keep the same cadence. Let's just keep our foot on the gas talking about Tisha and Marcel. Because the thing is, I know a lot of y'all have felt pressured in some way to say, well, Tisha, we don't really care if Marcel is cheating or not. We just rather you say, I'm going to stick beside him. Or, Tisha, we don't really care if he's cheating or not. We just rather you let that man cheat in peace. And y'all, honestly, I think that they have pressured people into feeling that way. because they don't want people to continue to talk about it. I think that they always talk about bloggers. I think that they make fun of people. I think that they, talk about the piss that's really tea, because they want people to sound dumb talking about them, even whenever things are, sounding like they could be true. So one thing I'm gonna say is I care. I mean, I'm not saying that I wish ill, but the thing is, it irks me so much when I feel like someone's playing in my face. And honestly, I wouldn't care if I felt like Tisha truly believed her husband wasn't cheating on her. If Tisha truly didn't believe it, I'd be like, girl, you a fool. But because the both of y'all are collectively playing in our faces season after season after season after season, while also mentioning things that the Holts have gone through, even though they're divorced and they're not together, so we don't really give a damn what happened in their relationship. They're divorced. Y'all are still together. That's what makes me care. I do care. I do care. Because I've been watching for too long at this point, and I'm a care, and I still want to know. Okay. Angie rates the episode 8. Dang, what happened to the comments? A 6. We're seeing 8.5. A 6. Bonnie said an 8. Kimmy said it was giving shiny. No, low key. When Carlos was talking to Destiny, it was giving thank you for your services. Thank you for your services. The truth will come out eventually. But yeah, y'all. That's all I have. Okay, that's all I have for the review. I'll probably come on tomorrow to review Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't have the energy to do it tonight, and I thought the episode wasn't really giving that much. It was funny as fuck at the end of the episode whenever we seen the geriatric fight. But I'll come on tomorrow, y'all. I need to go make some spaghetti, and I need to go to Target and pick up my order. So yeah, we friends. I'll be here tomorrow, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, y'all, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.